Timmy, did we miss anything? I think we got everything. Hey, how's it going? My name is Spy, and welcome to another scrap mechanic video. Now, as you can see from this house, it was featured in one of my previous videos. I believe it was in the vault video, where we built a vault. It was featured in the intro. Pretty much just a vintage house with a catch. You go in, and there's a creepy wife. Yeah, she just waves at you. And this is pretty much what it looks like inside. Just all the machines and stuff like that. So we're gonna leave this house before she tries to kill me. And look up there, there's Timmy in the window. Yeah. We'll just ignore him. It's pretty creepy. Anyways, we're gonna be building a box truck in this episode so that we can pack up all our stuff and head to the vault, or the survival shelter. Alright, so I'm gonna start off by building the lift here, and we're gonna start building the front of the truck. Now, I don't know how big the truck needs to be, really. So we're just gonna start off like that. We need to get a grill from the build menu. I think this ventilation grid will be good enough. Okay. If we put this down, we'll have a pretty decent idea for how big the truck needs to be. Okay. Alright, so I think that's a pretty good size for the front of the truck. Now we're just gonna add the lights. Have 2 sets of lights. Turn it. There we go. I wish there was an easier way to turn the blocks and stuff like that. So we could just use these duct pieces to build the bumper. Just like this. We're actually going to extend this out one more. There we go. That looks pretty cool. Oh no. Sweet. I think that looks pretty good. Awesome. I think that looks awesome, actually. Alright, so we're just building the rest of the chassis. We're mostly using concrete and wood blocks, as that is the lightest. Now, I don't know where to put this. I guess right about here. I think that's a good size for the chassis. You can always change it after. Okay, that looks good. And we can build the rest of the cab, because that will give us the best reference of how big to build the truck. I think that looks pretty good. So there we go, we got the seat. Now I'm gonna finish up the cab. Now I don't really know how to do a box truck, but I think we can just make the basic design like this, and then we can just cut out the concrete to round it out. I think that looks pretty decent. Not quite sure. Alright, so there we go. I think that's a pretty good design for the cab of the truck. Now we're just gonna break the blocks up here and place a set of these curved blocks so it looks a little more rounded out. It's probably still gonna look pretty funny, but you know, it works. Kind of looks like a bus. Sweet. Starting to look better. We can probably actually cut down the bumper too, because it seems like these flat nose trucks don't have a very big bumper. There we go. That looks a little better. It's starting to look like a bus. I don't know why. Okay, and then now we're gonna add the doors and the window, I guess. So we're just gonna cut a hole right about here. I think that's a good size. We'll have one on the other side as well. So it seems like the doors in these types of trucks actually have a curved angle so that they can go around the wheel well. I'm just going to add a little floor on the inside of the truck so we can elevate our seat a little more. Now the problem with this is our character's actually going to go through the roof of the truck when we get out, as you can see here. But that's not a big problem. Okay. Now we're going to make the doors. I actually have to make the angle of the wheel well. So it's something like that, I guess. Okay, there we go. I think that's the best design I'm gonna get for now, as the truck is pretty hard to make and there are no proper angles in this game, so I had to cheat on some corner pieces here. Looks alright, I guess. And the wheel well is gonna be here, and the tire is gonna be right about here. So we're gonna have to get to that in a bit. Okay, now we're just gonna build the doors. We need 2 controllers. so that we can open the doors separately. We're gonna put the bearings down, one right here and one right here. And then we're gonna add our doors. If the tool wants to work, there we go. Like this. And we're gonna color those with the paint tool so we know where they are. Yo, looks good. Sweet. And then we connect the bearings to the controllers. So the first controller is gonna go blue 90, just like that. And the second controller is gonna go red 90. There we go. Now it should work. Just gonna hop out of the truck really quick and add the buttons. We need 2 switches. Put them on the door, right about there. Looks good. And hook the buttons up to the controllers. And let's test this out. It should work once we get it off the lift. Sweet. Looks pretty good. Okay, we're gonna put this back up on the lift. Okay, I had to actually redesign the cab a bit. I made it shorter so that we can actually get these small wheels on without it distorting the truck too much. So we're gonna build the suspension now. We're gonna cut a hole in the cab here. Okay, that block up there is actually perfect. Put down our bearing, a block, our suspension, another block, a bearing, and then the tire. So there we go. We're going to do that to the other side. Cut a hole in the cab, place a block right about there, bearing, block, suspension, a block, our bearing, and then our tire. There we go. Now we just got to hook this up to the seat. The turning goes there, and the turning goes to the seat as well. Now let's see how this works. Open the door. Looks like it works. Not the greatest, but it works. So we're going to make the box pretty big. And I think we're going to have it leave a gap in the middle, I think. I don't know how much these stick out the sides. I think right about there is a good amount. There we go. And this goes all the way back. You know, I think that looks pretty good, actually. Okay, now we're just going to fill in the walls of the box truck. That's good. All the way over. Down. And we're going to have to kind of round this out eventually because it's going to look funny if we don't. There we go. That looks pretty sweet. I like that. Okay, now we can add the suspension and tires to the back of the box. Now, there's going to be a problem. We're going to have a few blocks inside the box. Now, that's not really a problem. So we're going to add a block to our suspension here. Add our bearing and our tire. And that looks like it will be good enough for me. And I'm just going to do that to the other side really quick. Break a hole in the box. Add the suspension, a block, a bearing, and our tire. Okay, it looks good to me. Alright, so let's test this out. The engine has power. We're gonna go inside the truck. Let's test this out. I forgot to add buttons to the doors. Oh god, that looks hilarious. What did I create? Does this thing flip? That's hilarious. Okay. We'll go put this back up on the lift and then continue working on it. Okay, now we're going to add the door to the back of our truck. Now, one thing is it's not going to be a traditional box truck door. I kind of wanted to do that, but I couldn't figure out how to do it properly. I was going to use a piston, but I'm not sure. Okay, we need to add a controller. I'm going to actually put this back here. Okay, now we're just going to add the bearings to the controller. Just like that. And now to add our door. Now we're going to have to split it a bit, like that. There we go. And now we can't see it currently, but that's not a problem. We'll paint the whole truck to give it a nice box truck look. Okay, now we need to add a button somewhere. Now I don't know where to put the button. Yes, we could put it on. I'll put it there for now. We can always move it. This is going to go to the controller. And the controller is going to have to make the bearings turn red 90. Okay. Red 90. Red 90. Looks good. Press the button. There we go. The door opens. And we got a box truck door. Looks funny. Okay. And now we just got to add a little tiny tailgate, I guess. So we're going to use metal for that. Metal block. I think we can go all the way around. Just about here. Move the button once we finish it. I think that looks good. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, we'll have the button. We'll have the button on the side right here. Looks good to me. Press the button. It opens up, and there we go. All right, now we just need to color the truck. Give it a nice white finish. And the trim will get a more silver or darker color. And the back of the door here will get its own color as well. Okay, there we go. The truck is fully complete. I fully painted it. And I also added these big mirrors to it, which makes it look quite funny. And I was going to add a gate lift to the back here, but I couldn't figure out. And the door actually opens up. So let's take this for a ride and see how it drives. Here we go. It's a little fast for a box truck. Oh, I don't know what's happening. Well, that turned out good. I guess we gotta turn the speed down a bit. Okay, let's try this again. It looks like it has a more manageable speed. Hopefully it doesn't lose control and tip again. So the turning is a little funky, but that's fine. Let's see if this thing can hit some jumps. It doesn't look very very soft when it hits bumps. Okay, here we go. Well, that didn't work. I think we can get out of this. That's not doing anything. Okay, let's head back to the house and park right in the driveway. Hopefully this thing goes up those little slanted blocks. Oh, the truck is too big for the driveway. Okay, well, we'll park it on the curb for now. Alright, let's open up the back of the truck. And here we are. Timmy still scares me a lot. Now we can pack a few things into the truck, like these boxes and everything like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, there we go. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, please let me know in the comments. And if you have any suggestions, also let me know. And thank you guys for watching and subscribing. And I'll see you guys next episode. Stay sweet. Bye.